Welcome back, baseball fans. The 1973 Winter Baseball Classic Tournament. We continue now. We're in the fourth round of this tournament. Half the field has been eliminated. And the other half of the field, well, they're the top 8 seeds anyway. Let's take a look at the bracket. Here we are. Turns out there were no upsets in the previous round. So 1 to 4 was joined by 5 through 8. So it's a conventional 8-1, 7-2, 6-3, 5-4. Not only that, look how close these win-loss records are for all 8 of the remaining teams. So the high seed is 7-3. Lowest seed is 8-6. 8-5, 7-4, 7-5, 7-4, 7-3, 8-6. They're all within a game and a half, 2.5 games of each other. So that's how it shows you how close this grouping has been. Today's battle is 5-4 Rhode Island Memphis. And as soon as I mention how close it's been, the series opened up actually in Memphis. And Memphis dispatched Rhode Island easily by scores of 11-0 and 7-0. So much for being really close with each other. Phil Negro had a shutout, as did Clyde Wright. Good news for Atlanta and Clyde Wright's property of the Toronto Blue Jays as they monitor their pitchers in spring training. So we have a game 3 of a best-of-5 Rhode Island Ridgebacks. Get it? Rhode Island Ridgebacks? Yeah. Anyway, I have fun with this stuff, folks. They have to win this game 3, a game 4, and then go to Memphis for a game 5 to advance. Today's pitching matchups for Memphis, looking for a 3-game sweep, is Dick Woodson. His future is hanging. He had a good set in 1972. We don't know how much longer he'll be pitching. He'll deal with Tom Murphy. We don't have to be overly concerned with Murphy. We have a future card for him as a reliever, and he's just a so-so starter, which also doesn't portend well for the home team, the team from Rhode Island. Let's get started. Leading off, Al Oliver, 52, comebacker to the mound. Mike Rogodinsky, a walk. Johnny Bench batting third. That's a 6-4-3 double play. Bottom of first, it's Nate Colbert. 1-7 is a single 1 to 10. Cannot get it. Bert Campaneris, 44. Third X. Third baseman is Richie Hebner's a 4-27. That's Pittsburgh's going to look at that defense and go, maybe we should take Richie in a different year. That's an error. Gary Thomason, 49. Triple 1 to 16. That's an RBI. Gary Thomason's having a nice tournament for a free agent. Be a nice pickup for somebody. Hit 285 in 73. Cleanup hitter Rico Petrocelli, 66. Sac fly to right field. It's 2-zip. Yvonne Morel, short X. Ed Brinkman, 2E26. Makes the play. Top of 2, it's Gates Brown, 1-5. Ground ball to first. Gates is no longer the Gates of hell, the 330 hitter. Gates is now more of like a Garden Gate. He's sort of like the Tulip Gate. He's a 236 hitter now. Richie Hebner, 55, flies to left. Otto Velez, 46, second X. Your second baseman is a 326 Halanier. Makes the play. Bottom of 2, Bill Sharp, 65, pops to third. Jerry Moses, 35, grounds short. Halanier, 59, rolls to second base. Vada Pinson, 2-9, flies to center. Jimmy Stewart, 38 to walk. Ed Brinkman, 58, short X. You got Campaneris, 2E25 at short, and that's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Bottom of the third, Tim Johnson, 36, base hit. Nate Colbert, 1-5's base hit in center field. Tim Johnson will not go for the extra base. Campaneris, 1-4, triple 1 of 15. Single dot, and it's 3-zip. Gary Thomason, 2-7 is a K. With one out, they'll bring the infield up and hold. Rico Petrocelli, 55 is a K. Yvonne Morel, 66 is a fly ball to right. 3-0. Maybe it's just the home cooking in both parks. The home team is winning 21-0 after 2 games and 3 innings. All right. Leading off in the 4th, it is Al Oliver, 37. Is a fly ball to center. Mike Rogodinsky, 1-5 is a K. Johnny Bench, 6-10, single. Gates Brown, 2-8's a walk. Richie Hebner, 56. Short X, your shortstop is Campaneris, 2, makes the play. Bill Sharp, 35, flies to right field. Jerry Moses, 1-8, there's a base hit. Hal Lanier, 1-5, there's a double play. Into the 5th. Otto Velez, 3-12. And that is gone. Interesting Otto Velez card. He was a Yankee in 73, had a 195 average with a cup of coffee. Eventually, by the end of the decade, he's with Toronto. Solo homer on his card. Trying to make it as a free agent, trying to make an impression is what these undrafted free agents are doing in spring training. Veda Pinson, 2-9. Sky's the center. Jimmy Stewart, 1-8. Third. And Ed Brinkman, 32, rolls third. 5-1 game, bottom of the 5th. It's Tim Johnson. 2-9 rolls the first. Nate Colbert, 2-10 is gone. Nate trying to make a case for his final season in San Diego, 1973. Bert Campaneris, 1-11, pops the first. Gary Thomason, 1-11 is a K. 4-1, excuse me. 3-run lead into the 6th. Al Oliver, 68, pops the first. Mike Rogodinsky, 1-4, right. Johnny Bench, 6-10, base hit. Gates Brown, 2-8's a walk. Your tie run with 2 outs is Richie Hebner. 2-9 is a walk. They're loaded. For Otto Velez, homered last inning. 68 is a pop the third. Tom Murphy. Hang in there, he's the starter 7. Dick Woodson's the starter 6. This will be his final frame. Petrocelli grounds a short. Yvonne Morel, singles. Bill Sharp, 2-9 for Bill. Triple on a 13. It's a double to center field. Morel's a 15 runner. He's going to take on the arm, even though there's 1 out, and he's thrown out on a 19. Oh boy, being aggressive there, running with 1 out. That didn't work. Trying to add to their lead. And Jerry Moses, 35. Grounds a short. Well, that didn't work. We'll pull Woodson after 6. It's 4-1. Tom Murphy into the 7th. It'll be Veda Pinson. 56 short X. That's a ground out. Jimmy Stewart, 1-2. Rolls to first. Ed Brinkman, 38. Grounds to third. The home team, Rhode Island's winning 4-1. Here, I don't know where in Rhode Island they'd put this ballpark at, actually. Pawtucket? Maybe? I don't know. Providence? Probably. I don't know, but I tell you what, wherever the ballpark is, I'm pretty sure there's a Dunkin' Donuts right outside. That I can almost guarantee. Stretch time music, waiting for the banner to come up here. We'll get to that in a moment. Loading, waiting, loading. Still waiting. There we are. We're listening to Winter Hours. Group out of, I believe, New Jersey, with this 1989 LP, Winter Hours, featuring the big hit Roadside Flowers, Smoke Rings. Nice stuff coming out of New Jersey, actually, in this timeline. All right, back to the game. It's 4-1, bottom of the 7th. Dick Woodson's been pulled. Time to take a look at the Memphis bullpen. I haven't seen it yet because Necro and Clyde Wright threw CGSO shutouts. Blue Moon Odom's going to pitch the 7th. He's had a downturn in his career after a brilliant 72. It's been kind of rocky since. Hal Lanier, 1-2, fouled to catcher plus injury. We'll put a new second baseman in, Billy Parker. Tim Johnson, 1-5, grounds short. Back up top to Nate Colbert, who has a homer today, 69. Second X. Second baseman Jimmy Stewart's a 4.E8 at second base, gives up a single. Campaneris, 1-5, a walk. 2-on-2 outs for Gary Thomason, who grounds to third. All right, Murphy's pitched fine, but the thing is, I don't really need to evaluate him, as we have a future card in the carryover league than this one. Good for Tom Murphy, so his 3.74 ERA card just played well. But it's probably not necessary. In the 8th inning, they're going to go Steve Mangori. They got to win a game. They're going to go to their closer in the 8th. Steve Mangori, property now. Through a trade, was with Cleveland, Kansas City. He was traded to Houston because they were desperate for a lefty reliever. So that's where Mangori presently resides. Mangori will face Al Oliver in the 8th inning. 57's a K. Batting for Mike Rogodinsky will be Enos Cabell. Cabell, a free agent, 1-4, grounds to third. Still early in his career, probably won't be in our league. And Johnny Bench, 68 for Johnny, 1-17 for a base hit, gets it. Batting for Gates Brown will be Doug Griffin. 2-9 is single ... Runners on the corners for Richie Hebner. 4-11 for Hebner is fly ball to left X. Out in left field, you have Gary Thompson's a 3-14. He makes the grab. All right, it stays 4-1. Bottom of the 8th. We'll go to Wayne Granger. See if Wayne's got anything left in the tank. He used to pitch for the Reds, then he went to the Cardinals. I think he was with the Twins, maybe. He's got a 4.21 ERA. See how Wayne does here in an 8th inning. Rico Petrocelli. 3.6 is a walk. Yvonne Morel, 64. Homer, 1-8. Double is a double. Second and third for Bill Sharp, 45 is a walk. Not a good day to be Wayne Granger. Jerry Moses, the bases jam. 67, that's a base hit. They're going station, 5-1. 58, Billy Parker, short X. 2E26, that's a double play. No RBI given. Run scores, runner at third, Tim Johnson. First X. Cabell's a 2E13. Innings over. 6-1 game. I think they're going to save Mangori. They'll have somebody else pitch the 9th inning with a 5-run lead. Save the arm. Frank Lindsay will pitch the 9th. 6-1 lead. Kind of a snoozer series. The home team just keeps blasting the away team. 23-1, if we're keeping track. Otto Velez, 45, flies to left. Vita Pinson, 4-11, left X. Left fielder. Thompson's a 3, E14, two-base error. Jimmy Stewart, 47, center field. Ed Brinkman, 111. Grounded to short. That's game 3. Do a box here. Look at some stats before we continue with a game 4. Lindsay, 1 inning. Mangori, 2 singles and a K. Nice start, Tom Murphy. 3-hitter. 1 run allowed on a solo shot. 5 walks, a strikeout. Wayne Granger, he gave up a hit. Let's see, 2 hits, 2 runs, and 2 walks. Blue Moon Odom gave up a hit and a walk. Not a good day for Dick Woodson in his attempt to continue his baseball career. He gave up 3 earned runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. 1-0-9, 0-1-0-8, 6-11-1-5, 6-11-1-5, 5-2-3-3. That is game 3. We've had a streak of the home team taking advantage of the visitor. Then I broadcast the visitor coming home, and they win, and you've been seeing that. But then they would just lose the next day. So the team who wins the series is undefeated, but you get to broadcast the losing team's lone win. That's been the precedent here. Sorry, Rhode Island fans. Anyway, they are 9-7 now. 267 batting average, 304 ERA. Splittorf's having a nice spring training. He's 9 runs in 35 innings. Steve Mangori's got 4 saves. We got 4 home runs for Ivan Morel. He's also 18 for 60. 10 RBI. 11 RBI for Bill Sharp. And I mentioned Gary Thomason. He's 19 for 59. Hitting 322. Some nice numbers for Rhode Island. Memphis is 9-5, hitting 266, 342 ERA. Clyde Wright is having a spring training to remember. He's 4-0, 4 runs in 34 innings. Wow, that's Cy Young material there. And he's property of Toronto. Toronto has gone out and found pitching throughout baseball. They got Jerry Royce, they got Bert Hooton, they got Clyde Wright, they got Doyle Alexander. They got a bunch of pitchers from different organizations for a team that didn't even exist in this timeline. They're looking like they could play spoiler in the American League East. Not much power. Johnny Bench has just been rather ordinary with that 73 card. Don't think the Reds will use that 73 card. It's not a good one for Johnny. Veda Pinson's 20 for 55 in 14 games. That's not bad. He's up there in age. Al Oliver's 19 for 61. Also, before we take a little break here, in 96 spring training winter baseball classic games, the league's hitting 255 with a 371 earned run average. The reality is there's a lot of pitchers available. There's not as many good hitters available for this tournament. The balance has already been scooped up in our carryover league. So we'll take a break, and we'll come back with the elimination results and the cards of that team. So stick around. All right, sports fans, who won the series? Well, not Rhode Island. They did win a game 4, but it went back to Memphis. And yet again, Memphis shut out Rhode Island for the 3rd time in Memphis, 7-0. And Phil Niekro has 2 complete game shutouts in 5 days. Great news for Atlanta. So that means that we get to take a look at these Rhode Island players. 4 categories, remember. The first category are guys who are carrying on from a previous card, or future card, you could say. We have Campaneris is 74, which is better than this. Jerry Grody, 74 as well. Same with Petrocelli. And Lockwood, I think we got 75 or 76 when he's got a sub-2 earned run average as a reliever. Actually was a starter in the early 70s, switched over to the bullpen and got a lot better. Tom Murphy pitched a fine game as a starter 7, but we have him as a reliever with a sub-2 ERA in one of his future years. And the same with Mangori. As good as this Mangori card is, we have a future card where he's even better. 357, a little high for a closer. So no evaluation needed for those guys. These are the guys that count, your keepers. Beginning with Nate Colbert, San Diego, arguably probably the best keeper, probably the face of the franchise in the early 70s, and he's still really good in 73 here. He's got 22 homers, hitting 270, strikes out a lot, but still good defense. Yeah, this card will be picked up, and this will probably be the final year for Nate Colbert and the Padres. So good news for Splittorf. He had a good tournament. This is a 20-game winner, folks. 398 ERA, however. I'm often leery of that, but it actually played very well. Very good against lefties. Survived versus righties. Nothing's outstanding here. He's better than average, but he's really not, Cy Young. He might make a top 10 list, I suppose, in that for this particular card. Another similar pattern for John Curtis. Cardinals property, same scenario. Pitching on 3 days rest, 3.58 ERA. Pitched pretty well in the tournament. Opened the Cardinals' eyes. They'll probably take him. Might put him at the top of their rotation, supplanting Bob Gibson, unless they decide to make Bob Forsch a top of the rotation guy and make a Curtis a number 2. Now, Marty Patton, on the other hand, did not pitch very well, and I'm not really crazy about this card. It's a 4.31 ERA on 3 days rest, and sometimes less is more. I'm not really concerned about the innings pitched. I want him to pitch well, and he did not pitch well, and lefties kind of ding him up a little bit. So we might have to keep looking for a Marty Patton card. Players put on waivers. John Jeter, known for a good range and arm, still has it. Has some power on the left side. Batting average isn't there, though. Could be a platoon defensive replacement late in games. Good base runner, C-stealer. Reasonable, he's right on the edge. Billy Parker, probably not. 1 position and a 4 with nothing else to offer except some speed. This is not going to be good enough. That's not going to work. Frank Lindsay, a nice long career in the bullpen. Could he run it back one more year? Maybe. 3.57 ERA is optimistic. There is a lot of homers. That's an out. That's nice. Lefties knock him around for batting average. It's going to be close. He's just a guy. Danny Frizella has had some outstanding years as a righty who gets lefties out. Kind of still does it. Actually, he's more balanced than he normally would be, and it's okay. It's a 4.20 earned run average. Not sure. I think there's probably better options for Sella. And now this team has 6 undrafted free agents. Tim Johnson only can play short as a utility player, left-handed batter, no power, good base runner. Batting average isn't there. I don't think so. If he had more versatility, maybe. You see the number of at-bats, so they went with him, but we don't have to go with guys with high at-bats just because the Major League team did. Hal Lanier had a nice long utility career for the Dodgers, Giants, and others, Yankees, I believe. Here's a Yankee, hitting .209. Utility player, actually in a reverse platoon, he's reasonable against righties. And he's got defense at 2 positions. I would not rule him out. Utility infielder. It's about versatility, not about performance. Jerry Moses, a 0-arm catcher, hits righties better than lefties. Reasonable. 254 average, only 59 at bats. Didn't hit any home runs. Probably not, but you never know. I mean, it's a decent batting average. It's just that, and the 0-arm helps. He'll take away a job from a lot of +2 arm catchers who hit below 250, I suppose. This Yvonne Morel had a nice tournament. Look at all the home runs. And the defense is just okay in the outfield. Just a 3+1 E12. Again, you don't like to see the reverse platoon in the corner outfield position. There's too much competition for that spot. Speaking of that, these last 2 guys are guys who are normally would be, they'll be in the league, but it's real close. I mean, Bill Sharp is a real nice player here. He's a 2-0. He can play some center field as a 3. The batting average is certainly, it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's 276. One of the higher batting averages, one of the better players, but you got to remember, corner, the outfield is where you need a lot of punch. He does have some punch there. 210 homer, 1-15 with power. Good base runner. He is right on the edge. His defense might just get him into the league. And the fact that he doesn't need to be an everyday player, but if a lefty came in, you wouldn't necessarily lift him. He's decent enough to stick around against a left-handed pitcher. And then you have Gary Thomason. So a step up offensively from Sharp, a step down defensively. Has the power, a 10 home run 8. He's got the walks, he's got the average, he's got the performance, really. He's a 285 hitter, so he's got the performance. You'd leave him in there against lefties, he wouldn't hurt you too much. You don't really want him to play every day. there's still a lot of competition for those corner outfield spots. I'll say it over and over and over again. I mean, if he was more of a utility player, sure, but I mean, generally these guys aren't. Can play first as a 3. So outfielder, first base, really close. He had a really nice tournament. I'm of the opinion that Sharp and Thomason should get into our league, but I just don't know about the numbers. There's a lot of guys competing for that. And the sad state of affairs is, the Howlineers and the lousy backup catchers will possibly get into the league. And pretty decent hitters like Thompson and Sharp may not get into the league. It's just about population at that particular position. So that's it for Rhode Island. Their tournament run is ended. They can go hide up and back in the mountains of Rhode Island. I didn't think Rhode Island had mountains, but according to this picture, they might. There's a flag on top of that one. That's Mount Cruller at Dunkin' Donuts in Rhode Island. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.